Okay, here we go. Hello, how are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment. Kind of an odd time, 20 after 11, late night, this 7th day of May 2026. I hope you're well. People who have been watching this for a while know that this is therapy for me. The most important thing, looking at the camera, looking at the webcam, this is therapy for me, and it has been since 2017, and it will continue to do that for me. So that's one of the main reasons that I'm in here tonight. Plus, I also have a few notes. I've been meaning to get in front of the camera since Monday. It's been a few days. I think it was last Sunday. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. The 29th, back in April, late April, over at Green Road Encampment, speaking with PJ McKay. Thank you for the 3,200 views that saw that. Just one of those stories where you're speaking with someone who is getting ready for their third summer in this open field in Dartmouth. And what are the people going to be experiencing in the two designated encampments this evening? Green Road Encampment, probably a daily growing population, and the Barrington Street Encampment, which is just up the road from me. So the weather tonight, and this is from Environment Canada, I find it's a rather reliable source. So if the rain hasn't stopped in your area, it should. Rain will end this evening, then clouds, fog patches out there. So do drive with caution. Make sure you're using your low beams. Winds gusting up to 50 out of the southwest, down to 40, low of +5. So the Coles notes of the weather, looking at the forecast, yes, the temperature is getting better. A mix of sun and cloud, 14 degrees, looks like the nicest day out of the next few. Chance of showers, 14 degrees tomorrow. So double-digit temperatures is great. But hands in the air if you believe that winter has just continuously drug on. And April was, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I said something about how much rain we had in the month of April to a coworker today who was glad for it and pointed out that the watershed is still low. So the province of New Brunswick is dry. So yes, rain is good, but I want you to keep in mind when I talk about the weather, why the weather is one of the first things that I talk about, is because I'm advocating for people who are outside. I'm just bringing a light to the situation that is out there, and there are a lot of people doing that, and I'm going to highlight some of those folks as we get going into this broadcast. So just in here for therapy. And I try and make it relatable, so if you're watching this live, I appreciate the live views. If you're watching this at your leisure and getting caught up, I certainly appreciate that as well. So I'm going to be quite honest with you. In this moment, on this 7th day, on this late Thursday evening, 2026, and I feel like mentally, I just feel detached in a way. I kind of have this feeling, this sensation of when COVID first started, when they started shutting down the airports, when that realization came about. There was a period where I was just like, what's the point? What's the point? What is my purpose? So, just feeling a bit lost at the moment, which is why I come in here and do this. Like I said, I've been meaning to do this since Monday night. And I know people have busy lives, and things happen in my life where I have no schedule when it comes to this. That's why it's called In the Moment. So if I don't feel like doing it in the moment, if I'd rather take that 15, 20 minutes, whatever the length of the show, and just be with Jen, then that's the way it is. So here I am tonight. So I did make a post earlier in the week, Monday morning, I had an appointment. Just a shout out to the Mentor Clinic. Everyone here in this family have been thoroughly checked out by all kinds of people with the guidance of the nurse practitioners and people that we deal with at the Mentor Clinic. And the latest test that I had, which I think is going to be okay, or I think I would have heard something by now, but it was an ultrasound of my heart. Now, for some reason, I thought it was going to be like an EKG where they just hook you up to electrodes and monitor your heart for like 15 minutes. This was an ultrasound, and it was... I have an MRI scan of my brain on a disc somewhere in my possession. That was cool. Being able to see the inside of your own body and not someone else in an autopsy or a mortician. It was absolutely fascinating. When I realized what was happening and that I could turn my head and look at a monitor and see my heart beating, hear my heart, it brought tears to my eyes. It was one of the coolest moments that I've ever experienced with two complete strangers. Just, wow. And the best way to describe it, and this is how the student who was there job shadowing, he said basically look at it like this. I mean, they had the probe in a couple of different places. But he said basically just take a loaf of bread, cut out a slice, and you're able to look at that slice from front to back, top to bottom, side to side. So and that's exactly what they did. So that was probably a good 15, 20-minute procedure, but just brought tears to my eyes. And I will say the headspace that I'm in right now, I have, and I'm not. No one should be embarrassed or ashamed to say that you've done some crying. It's a natural reaction when you're upset, when you're happy, when things are just, when you feel lost. You may shed some tears, and that's okay. I'm not going to shame anyone for doing that, because here I am talking about it right here in the moment. Truth from the Booth, it continues this week, but I want to let you know that the longest show that I did with Mariah Baker, 1 hour and 20 minutes, was the length of our conversation. The whole show itself might be like 125 or something like that. But that is now up on my YouTube channel. And again, it's when it airs on Sundays on Folked Up Radio, it's real-time radio. So at 10 o'clock, the show airs. It's live, right? I mean, the show is on an MP3. Oh, secret's out of the bag. But it's live. So if you start listening at 10:15, well, you've missed the first 15 minutes, and there's no way to go back. But with the technology and YouTube, that show is now on my YouTube channel. It is YouTube video 401. And I want to keep with Truth from the Booth. I'm going to take a break next weekend. I'm just going to take the weekend off and enjoy Victoria Day, national holiday. But Nick, what excellent timing. I'm just getting ready to promo the show. Tomorrow night, I will be speaking with Nick Mulay. Nick Mulay has been a guest on my radio program before. I think the last time he was just hanging out with a couple of other paranormal investigators, and the three of them ended up on the show. But he's been on my Matt TV, my In the Moment. He's done split screens with me. So paranormal investigator Nick Mulay. Arthur, wow, long time no see you on in the chat. Welcome. Nick Mulay, paranormal investigator, writer, just an all-around fantastic individual in Illinois. We're going south of the border to Illinois to talk to Nick Mulay. I'm going to have a conversation with him tomorrow night after I get home from work, probably this time tomorrow. I'll be having my conversation with Nick Mulay. It'll be recorded. I'll do the editing, and you'll be able to hear the entire full conversation in its entirety, uninterrupted, Sunday at 10 with the repeat at 6. And then, once it airs on the radio station on that Sunday, I'll put it up on my YouTube channel, so you don't have to wait. And the other not secret is just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Like I absolutely love conversing with people, and the best way to keep the conversation going is to show that individual that you're not there to pry. You're not there. There's no gotcha moments. I'm not there to surprise anyone. For me, the gathering of information could not be simpler because the guest has already put it out there into the public forum. So I just go through their social media, and it's the who, what, when, where, how, and why. And to any journalist, and I'm not a journalist, but when you're having conversations with people, you never want to give someone a yes or no. Don't. The who, what, when, where, how, and why. That's why Canada had a great show called W5. W5. So some great W5 talking points with Nick Mulay. You can hear the conversation Sunday on my talk radio program, Truth from the Booth, on folktalkradio.com. Here's just a quick note, little side note to anyone, any renters here in Nova Scotia. Doesn't matter where you are in the province. Doesn't really matter where you are. If you are renting, know your rights. Get to be on a first name basis with people at the tenancy board. Well, let's hope it never has to go that far. But there are so many stories, people that I've had conversations with on my radio program, who are now dealing with cockroaches and mice, and landlords seem to be able to get away with it, and it's just simply wrong. So know your rights. If you are renting, know your rights. 311, I believe, is the number that you want to call. They do have offices, so you can physically go into a place, state your complaint. And the reason I say that, Jen fired off a pretty fiery letter here a couple of weeks ago, and within 72 hours, 48 hours, one of the things that we had been, talking about for 4 years and 7 months was rectified. So know your rights. Don't be afraid to fire off a letter to light a flame under their ass. This is where I get to the shout-outs. I just want to give a shout-out to everyone at Souls Harbour. You're doing tremendous work through the day with the meals, but I know you're going out into the encampments in the evenings. Last week, I did see one of the... wasn't last week. Yeah, it was. It was last week. One of the care vehicles was there. Last night on the way home on the bus, Souls Harbour vehicle was there. So just a shout-out to everyone at Souls Harbour. You're doing fantastic work. Shout out to Lynn and Rebecca at Hugs, Hearts United in Giving Society. Those two amazing ladies and everyone that is associated with them, the volunteers, the people who are making donations, and I know that number is growing. Just fantastic stuff. 60 bags, 60 care packages put together. I received 30 of those. Jen and I took 10 of those into the city yesterday. We went to the church where they hand out meals right there at Spring Garden Road in Barrington, and we handed out 10 bags within 2 minutes. Everyone that was coming out after getting a meal from the church received a care package. So I just want Lynn and Rebecca to know that tomorrow the weather is nice. Jen and I will be going back into the city with another 10, 15 packages because they will be gone, and they are greatly appreciated. It's just, for me, shaking hands with people, getting their name, and just seeing a smile on their face. They're so appreciative, and I want you to know that. So Hugs, appropriately named. Fantastic stuff. Okay. Another little side note, again, these were just notes. Like I said, I meant to come in here on Monday night, but everything here is still relevant. I started the show about 20 after. So you're not 4 minutes into the show, you're actually 14 minutes into the show. Yeah, it was a weird time when I started. That's why I call it In the Moment. This is a little side note here. I saw this on social media here a few days ago. I don't know if it was Facebook. Doesn't really matter, but it's out there. If you are opposed to the $200 million widening of Robi Street here in the HRM, just Google it. I know there's an area where you can go online. It's like Action something, but it's where you can go and sign a petition. They are looking for 25,600 letters to be sent. My question is, will that make a difference? I hope so, but what I've seen in politics over the last several years, their mind is already made up. And I just think it would be just a travesty to remove all those trees, unhouse all those people, like to make a bus lane into a peninsula that is just, it can't get any bigger. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And with that being said, if you've been watching my show since I started documenting this since August of 2022, and we've never met, and you'd like to maybe get together and ask me some questions, and maybe I can answer some things for you, or just have a coffee, this summer would be the time to do it. This summer, if you'd like to meet me, because I would love to meet you, do it this summer. And I'm just going to leave it at that. A couple more shout outs to Adsum House for Women and Children. They're putting on their second annual, I'm just reading off my notes here. Tomorrow night, the Gimme Shelter Halifax, their second annual benefit concert raising funds for Adsum for Women and Children. $35 a ticket. That's tomorrow night. Doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7, and it's happening at the Paul O'Regan Theatre at the Halifax Central Library on Spring Garden Road. Again, that's the Gimme Shelter second annual benefit concert raising funds for Adsum and Women and Children. Adsum House for Women and Children. So check that out. Okay, final thing of the night. And I'm not going to read this because I know that Andrew Goodsell has posted about it. I'm not sure if Mariah has posted about it. But this is why I wanted to do the show. So I actually printed the stuff off, and I don't know if the city has put this online, but this, when you read this, and what I'm talking about here, the other day I was going to work. I was scootering into work Monday or Tuesday. And I always count the tent structures when I go in. Every day. Every time I go by there, I count the tents. And I noticed that there was a notice flapping in the wind. And I've seen this so many times. And I thought to myself, this better not be a notice to vacate the premises. This better not be an eviction notice. Because we all know that those encampments are going to be there till sometime next year. So I did some investigative work and found out that it was not a notice to vacate the premises, but what it was, and I'm going to put my glasses on here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because you can find it yourself. Oh, and that's the other thing too. If you would like to add your name to this flag, Mariah Baker was the last name on this flag. 1,414 names. Again, this summer would be the summer to do it. Do it this summer. Okay, pardon the glasses. I know I look like a bit of a spaz here. Does anyone use that word anymore, spaz? This was May 4th. Okay. So this is a notice issued to the residents at the encampments, but it's basically guidelines for individuals at a designated encampment site. And if you really want to know how that makes someone feel, reach out to Andrew Goodsell. Like, it makes zero sense. You're basically asking people to behave themselves outside with no safety, no dignity. Who knows how hungry they are? Who knows what mental state they're in? I can't imagine it's very good. And you are trying to curb their behavior, and you're going to check in on them like babysitters. I can't think of a bigger, well, I can, but this is just another mismanagement of funds. For God's sakes, public housing, please. Do you know how many people died in the streets of St. John this winter? Almost 40. Almost 40 people died in the snow in St. John, New Brunswick this winter because they don't have enough money. Sick. It's just, It's really starting to burn my ass. And I'm going to leave you with this. Look how riled up I am. I get riled up, but I want you to know that I spend the majority of my day. When I get up, I put this on. I put jazz on. Let me pull this up here. So I just go to YouTube, and this is Starry Night, Jazz for the Philosopher. But I'm listening, I'll listen to like 1930s, 1940s jazz. So I don't spend my day watching the news. I really don't. And when I go to work, I'm there to look at security cameras. So that's what I do. And what am I listening to? I'm listening to 1930s and 1940s noir jazz. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of jazz, and I'm going to like dim this light, and then I'm going to close out the show. But if you are in this moment, in this early part of May 2026, if you are just kind of doing a lot of, I don't know, or just kind of looking up and just wondering, like, what the hell? If you feel lost, you're not alone. It's going around. It's going around. Anyway, I appreciate the live views. I know it's late. It's therapy for me. It's out there. The content is of the utmost importance. And for some people, they might just see my face and keep on scrolling. It's late night. Hair and makeup, gone. Gone. Okay. Mariah, thanks for hanging out. Great work. Love the pictures, love the stories. I'm glad folks are taking a hold of the reins and getting your material out there, your content out there, because it absolutely matters. Yeah, you are capturing the underbelly of Halifax, Nova Scotia, for sure. Appreciate it, and I know how satisfying and how good you feel when you make that purchase of that camera equipment, regardless of the price and the venue where you got it. It's just one more piece of the puzzle of positivity. Okay, enough messing around. 11:43. That's going to do for me. That's like a 23-minute show. Lengthy. Okay, listen. Enjoy the rest of your night. I really mean that. And if anyone wants to send me a private message, feel free. I'm a really, really good listener. Really good listener. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Truth from the Booth, brand new show Sunday with paranormal investigator Nick Mulay. Fantastic guy. Fantastic guy. Okay. Enjoy your night. My name is Matthew. You are currently caught up in the moment. Arthur, I'm just seeing here that you're still on the show. Yeah, appreciate you watching. Appreciate it. Okay. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Okay. My name is Matthew. You are currently caught up in the moment.